Hey, but what's going on? Damn. Alright, you know what? Blanket. I am currently at work. I'm like 3.5 hours early, so let's get this going on. This is my reaction rant to part 3 of the 4-part crossover episode. I know I'm super late because I'm currently doing the crossover, and after the crossover, I literally have to do the mid-season finales to Supergirl, Flash, Legends, and Arrow, respectively. And then I have to do the mid-season premieres, which already happened, for at least 3 of the shows, which is Supergirl, The Flash, and Arrow. All had their mid-season premieres. Apparently Legends is not going to have their mid-season premiere till February, so thank God. But unfortunately, that's been taken over because Black Lightning had its first episode already, so it's like, son of a bitch! Anyway, oh shit. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, my throat hurts like hell, so let's see what happens. Part 3. Well, ironically enough, part 3 happened for The Flash. Amazingly enough, part 1 was still Supergirl. It started with Supergirl, but part 2 started with Arrow, so part 3 was The Flash. So, The Flash Season 4, I believe it's Season 4, I know it's Episode 8, titled, Crisis on Earth X, Part 3. Let's see, who was there? Barry, Oliver, Sarah, Alex, Stein, and Jax. Those 6. From the last episode, they woke up. They were pretty much taken to Earth X, and they were in a concentration camp, and they all start waking up one by one there. And they all have power dampeners on them, even though some of them don't even have powers, which is pretty damn funny. But most likely they did that as a precaution, which I wouldn't be, like, technical-wise, if I was, like, versus an enemy or something like that, if I didn't know them, if I didn't know if they had powers or not, I would put dampeners on them too. So that was a pretty smart move on their end. Anyway, sorry, my hair's just pissing me off. Anyway, oh god. I want to say general, but this other person who's, like, higher up with the Nazi regime, like, Dark Arrow is, because remember, Overgirl apparently is a general. They revealed that, when they revealed that she was sick. This other person, pretty much higher up in the Nazi regime, shows up, and it turns out to be the Earth X doppelganger of Quentin Lance. Can you imagine Sarah's face? Well, you kind of saw Sarah's face when she saw that that one of the higher-ups of the Nazi regime is a doppelganger of her own father. I would be like, well, shit, right? And then what makes it worse is when evil Quentin looks at looks at Sarah, and he's like, "You look like my daughter." Yeah, things didn't go out well because she chose to love the wrong person. You know what I mean? So obviously, Earth X Sarah was also into women, and obviously that did not turn out very well at Earth X, which broke my heart. And you can see the heartache in Sarah hearing that. It's like, well, Earth X daddy didn't like me because I was into women. So it's like, that was a very emotional scene already, and I was like, oh, my heart right now, this is just not right. And it must be horrifying for also Oliver, because remember, he grew up with Laurel and Sarah, which means he also grew up with Quentin. So to see him like that is just probably the most shocking bullshit to ever happen, yo? Anyway, they meet another prisoner there. His name is Ray Terrell, but I'm not gonna get too much into him. But if you guys know that name, Ray Terrell, I can never pronounce his pronoun. I think it's Terrell. But anyway, he is in the comics. In the comics, he's known as the Ray, which is one of the heroes from the Freedom Fighters. Like I said, I will have a separate video for the Freedom Fighters, so I'm not going to get too much into Ray Terrell, mainly because he's part of the Freedom Fighters at one point, so, and I'm dedicating a video already for them. But anyway, Evil Quentin takes the 6 that are taken to Earth X, as well as Ray, to pretty much be executed. So they line them all up, and then Evil Quentin's like, I know that Oliver there is a freaking doppelganger, but the fact that it's his face still bothers me, so cover his face. Because remember, Evil Oliver and Evil Quentin, they work together in a way, so they get along and all that shit, right? So even though this Oliver is not his, he doesn't want to shoot his friend or whatever, right? So he's like, cover Oliver's face while he shoot him. So they're all lined up and everything, getting ready to die, get executed, in a line with guns. All of a sudden, explosions happen, and they get saved by the doppelganger, the Earth X doppelganger of Leonard Snart, who in this world, hang on, I'm getting choked, who in this Earth is a good guy. In fact, he's actually part of the freedom fighters on Earth X. And he goes by Citizen Cold, which I thought was freaking awesome that he's going by that name. If you guys remember in the comics, at one point, yes, Leonard Snart does go by Citizen Cold in the comics, good guy wise. And the fact that he looks more like his comic book counterpart makes it even better, because remember, our Leonard Snart, he just had those like goggle looking things. This Leonard Snart had kind of like a visor, kind of looks like the Marvel's X-Men Cyclops. Marvel, the X-Men, there's a guy named Cyclops. He has that visor-looking thing that looks like a literal Cyclops eye thing. He kind of has that. He had that in the comics. So the fact that they're giving him more of this comic look, really, I nod them for that. I was like, thank you for giving him his Citizen... giving us Leonard Snart back is, like, gracious to me, because, one, I love the actor. I mean, I fell in love with that actor when I watched Prison Break, the very first Prison Break, a long time ago. I loved both the actors. That's why when I found out both of them were coming into the Arrowverse in general, together, as partners, oh lord. There you go. When I heard that they were both coming into the Arrowverse, not only just both of them at the same time, but as partners in the show, I was like, I'm done. And they made so many Prison Break references, I was like the happiest person in the world. So just bringing him back after losing him on Legends the first season, it broke my heart when we lost him. And even though we get like him kind of every once in a while, only because like time travel and all that shit, it's not the same. I miss Leonard Snart on the team. So seeing him here, and as Citizen Cold, he's a good guy and he's more like his comic book look, bravo. Just bravo to that all. But anyway, they save them and they take them to their base where the Freedom Fighters are, and we find out that the Freedom Fighters general is actually the Earth X doppelganger of Win. Remember Supergirl's bestie tech friend, Win? Yeah, Win's a general here in this world, and I love it. But I don't like the fact that he's so... I don't know. But then again, in the world they're in, I'm not surprised that he's so hard and, like, emotionless, right? But it's like, it's still kind of hard to see Win without a smile. It's disturbing, to say the least, because it's Win, for Christ's sake. Win is like the happiest person in Supergirl. Like, he had his heart broken by Kara, and he's still the happiest person in Supergirl. So it's like, seeing him so hardened and all that shit, it just bothers the hell out of me. Even in that the musical crossover, he's still a happy guy. So it's like, it's hard to see Win not happy. It's disturbing, but I understand given the situation and the world they're in. So anyway, the six people team that got captured pretty much find out that the only way to go back home is through this temporal gateway that's inside one of their bases. And they also find out that Ray, who they thought was actually part of Earth X, he's actually from their Earth. He is actually from Earth 1, and I forgot how he ended up on Earth X, but he's from originally Earth 1, and he just ended up on Earth X. So, apparently General Win wants to destroy that base, because apparently he wants Dark Arrow to go to Earth 1, and then he wants to destroy the base so he could strand Dark Arrow there, so they don't have to worry about Dark Arrow at Earth X. Although it's a good plan, he would be destroying the only way for those 6 to get back home. So of course those 6 are against that because they need to get home, right? So Oliver disguises himself as Dark Arrow to try to infiltrate the place, and of course, evil Quentin's kind of meh about him. So he does a little test, and what he did really freaking broke my heart, because we already found out in the previous episodes when the Nazis first arrived that Felicity Smoke is actually Jewish. I believe it was her grandparents that are Jewish, and she also mentions it at one point, I think in the previous episode, I'm not sure which one, but she mentions her Jewish descent, and we already know that Stein is also Jewish, right? And so seeing this next scene when Oliver infiltrated really broke my heart, because evil Quentin pretty much brings out the Earth X doppelganger of Felicity in front of Oliver, and she's in a concentration camp outfit. She has the yellow star on her and everything. She's not blonde, she has like dark hair. Remember, she had dark hair before. And it's just heartbreaking to see, because we already know that Felicity is in fact Jewish, because she revealed it already. And it's just wrong. And then like evil Quentin's like, I heard that your good guy doppelganger is actually in love with a woman who looks just like this on their Earth. Shoot her. And I was like, you mofo. And I heard that shit, I was like, no. Okay, sometimes I don't like Felicity, sometimes I'm not into the whole Olicity relationship, but that's freaking wrong. That is just wrong right now. Because it's like, hearing Felicity be like all heartbroken about hearing about a world that the Nazis survived and they won and everything, really tugged at my heartstrings for both Felicity and Stein. Because they're Jewish, right? And they know what happened with the Nazis and everything, you know? Like, their families have been through it. But anyway, of course, Oliver can't do it. He's hesitating everything. And so that's when all hell breaks loose. And, while they're having a fight there and everything, General Wynn sends over, pretty much a weapon to destroy the base that they're at. And, that weapon is actually Red Tornado. They actually have a red, Earth X version of Red Tornado. It's interesting seeing Red Tornado come back, because remember, I think the last time we ever saw Red Tornado was on Supergirl Season 1. So to see Red Tornado again was freaking cool. I wish we actually brought back Red Tornado to be part of the Arrowverse as a good guy. But unfortunately did not happen. We have to see him used as a weapon. Of course, Barry and Ray race toward there to try to stop, and they battle Red Tornado, which of course they won. Shit, what else happened? I remember during that episode, while that was happening, I think Eobard Thawne was getting Supergirl ready to get for the surgery. Made the red sun and everything to weaken her body. And apparently Iris and Felicity, who managed to avoid getting captured back in Star Labs, they were trying to, save Supergirl, but unfortunately, and save everybody else. Fortunately, they ended up getting captured, which I thought was freaking hilarious, by the way. Shit, I forgot what else possibly happened in that show, in that episode. If I'm missing something crucial, please, by all means, let me know. Because all I remember is that particular scene, and of course, Iris and Felicity. And I know for a fact, like, they do manage to get back home. Oh! Snap! I forgot. While they're trying to escape that base, at the same time, trying to reactivate the portal so they could leave, the saddest bullshit I've ever seen happens. Martin Stein got shot, and he's gravely wounded. My heart fucking stopped the moment I saw him get shot. I was like, are you effing kidding me? He just wants to retire and live out his days with his wife, his daughter, and his grandson. Can't you give him that? Seriously? You have to shoot him? And which makes it even more heartbreaking is like what I said. He's the one that, him and Felicity were the ones that hated this world the most because they are Jewish. They know the history. Their family went through that Holocaust bullshit. And here he is. He's the one that gets shot in Nazi world. Are you for real right now? Oh my god. You just Really? It's wrong. The one person that's trying to retire, and you get him shot. But anyway, this is my reaction rant to that episode. I will see you in part 2. I think I'm already past my time limit, but I'll see you in the last part, which is on Legends. Bye.